Welcome back. Well, more than 1,200 people died in the U.S. during interactions with police last year, the deadliest in the last decade, according to a nonprofit that tracks data from law enforcement agencies nationwide. No civilian death put a city's police department under more intense scrutiny in that time than the 2020 murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Ashar Qureshi looks at what's changed over there.
Yes, look at that texture. Look at you go.
Sage Carroll's pottery workshops are shaping more than just clay.
My parents came of age in the civil rights movement.
These gatherings are about shaping the conversation.
We are having a conversation around policing in Minneapolis.
In the aftermath of George Floyd's murder, the Minneapolis City Council shifted almost $8 million of police funding in 2021 to expand other services. $150,000 put aside for artist-led community healing, programs that look like this. How do you maintain hope?
I don't know that I am still hopeful, but I don't know that it's going to get better, and I don't really think that it will in my lifetime.
I naively thought that this was a place ready for change, and it just wasn't.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says repairing what's been broken requires a paradigm shift.
Slowly, we began to make changes incrementally to address, kind of getting the culture of the agency in line with the values of the community. Assalamu alaikum.
He's made a point of hitting the streets himself, showing up on scene, going on ride-alongs, and meeting community members where they are. The Minneapolis Police Department has spent at least $2.5 million on training and recruitment since George Floyd was murdered in 2020. But some community members here say that hasn't translated to trust.
That's why the biggest thing for me is not to just change policy here, it's to change what cops actually do on the street.
Months after O'Hara took the job in 2022, Minneapolis police entered into an agreement with the Justice Department to address a pattern and practice of abuse. That followed a ban on chokeholds and restraining techniques like the ones used on Floyd. At this training facility, O'Hara is literally changing out the posters, like this one that shows an officer being held hostage. Does it reinforce fear?
Certainly. Sort of that us against them, that very, very militaristic approach to policing.
So we can think about Minneapolis as representing both the promise of liberal police reform, but also its persistent failures. And
Still, Michelle Phelps, a professor who's written about the politics of policing, has seen positive strides.
There have been a number of innovations about how do we think about reducing that contact between police and community members. And you're seeing other kinds of responders that can come into those situations that aren't armed with a gun and that aren't trained in how to deploy violence.
Make sure you get those individuals right there that say they need resources.
Muhammad Abdul-Ahad is one of these responders.
Our work is more preventative, they're more responsive.
6 nights a week, he leads a team of volunteers, de-escalating conflicts before police are even called. What's the relationship like between you and police force?
I think the trust has been, elevated, much better now due to the new chief that's here. He comes from this work, so he understands this work.
Where is Minneapolis today, 4 years later?
I mean, we're going to get through whether or not, the systems start to work for us.
Community and cops still struggling to find the common ground necessary for true healing. For Eye on America, Ashar Qureshi, Minneapolis.
Usher, thank you for that report. Now, Minneapolis businesses on the block where George Floyd died say that the city has left them high and dry, and now they're asking the city for a whopping $30 million. The new lawsuit accuses the city of pulling police and criminals knew that the area lacked police protection, causing people to actively stay away from the neighborhood and take their business elsewhere. We'll have more on that story coming up on Valley News Live at 4.